Hey guys, what's going on? Down here, back with another video. I know it's been a long time, but thought it was about time to do an update. Collection room's behind me. I've got lights going on all around the place because the lighting in this room sucks because I've got all the natural light blocked out. So hopefully lighting isn't too bad. So my collection's probably taken a different turn to when you last saw it. I know I was probably in the transition of going from statues to movie props and costumes, which that's pretty much when my last video was made. My last statue purchase was, geez, that must have been the Marcus Cinema Cat, which would have been June, July 2015, so it's been 2.5 years since I last bought a statue. Certainly doesn't feel like that long, but I've certainly well and truly transitioned into movie props and costumes. So I'll show you the room. Excuse the lighting, mainly Underworld stuff. I've got little bits and pieces in there that are from different films, but I live and breathe Underworld, so it's mainly stuff from that. Also, I forgot to add, everything that I show you will be screen used or production used, unless otherwise stated, because I do have a few replicas in there, but it's mainly production made pieces. If it's the costume belonging to a character, I understand that a lot of people will have not seen Underworld or not familiar enough with it to put it together with the character, so where I can, I'll try and put a picture of the character in the costume or using the prop or whatnot, just so that you can visualize how it was in the movie. But yeah, my editing skills are lackluster to say the least, so we'll get in there. Sorry, I'm looking at my cat, it's down there just making all sorts of mess. So yeah, let's jump into it. Also, I forgot to mention I'm using my phone to do the recording, so the quality is probably going to be terrible. It's also a one-man show, so I'll probably have to do a lot of jump cuts in order for it to make it look good, because I'm using a tripod and whatnot. So it looks like the lighting's still going to be terrible. I've got this light up here, which is creating this stupid glare effect, but you know, what are you going to do? Something's better than nothing. So, alright, let's get it started. Alright, I think I'm in shot here, so let's start off with my mainly non-Underworld section, which this would be Resident Evil, as you could probably tell, maybe not. I'm just making sure my cat isn't coming in. So as you can see, this is kind of the first one you see when you walk in. This is my Axeman from Resident Evil 5. Yeah, Resident Evil 5. Sorry, I had to think that. So the apron is screen used by, well, the Executioner. Is he Axeman? No, it's Executioner in the game, Axeman in the movie. So this is the other style. So in the fourth movie it was kind of more grey and black, whereas this one I thought was cooler because it's like all kind of stitched together leather, and it's got ears and noses, as you can see, all stitched into it, and there's skin and blood all over it, and you know, it's really cool. Now I was in a bit of a situation where I didn't know where or how to display it rather. So I quickly threw this together. So you know, he's pretty tall. I'm pretty short though, so you know, but he's, you know, stands about 7.5 foot tall. I've got my good friend Johnny Norman here. He's on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. I got him to help me make this up, which I think it turned out great. I just did a little bit of the finishing off. Yeah, because I think it totally brings it to life. And just added like the chain and whatnot. And then on either side of this guy, we've got the Russian zombies from the 5th movie as well. There's a scene where there's, yeah, Russian zombies and they're shooting at the peeps. So these are costumes from these. These are probably my cheapest costumes that I own because they're not worn by a certain character, like a main actor. But they're just absolutely a beautiful attention to detail. Like this. It's just beautiful. It's got bullet holes and blood all through it, which is just super cool, and it looks really great beside this guy because it's same movie, not really the same scene, but you know, it looks really great. I'll pick this up as well. So metal army helmet, which goes with this guy, and then I've got a fighter pilot helmet, hat, headgear, whatever you want to call, on a mannequin behind, which you'll see in a second because it's the only mannequin I've got with a head, so you'll see it. Right, this is already going way too long than I thought it was going to do. I thought it was only going to be like a 5-minute video, but it turns out I ramble on way too much. So I'm just going to quickly go through all this stuff now because I'm already tired of talking. So we've got Khan's costume here, which this is the first Underworld movie, played by Robbie G. Really good attention to detail. No, absolutely not. See? This is what I have to put up with. Okay, and beside that, we've got Celine's costume from Underworld Evolution. So the catsuit is the screen used part. The boots, corset, and coat are just replicas to complete this. The display, because otherwise it look really stupid. So, all right, now moving on. This is, without a doubt, my holy grail that I always wanted to own. Ever since seeing the movies, the very first movie, Victor, played by Bill Nye, has been not only my favourite character from the franchise, but probably one of my favourite movie characters of all time. So it's been a long road for me to try and track down one of these costumes. Thankfully, through a long story, I was able to get one, and as you can see, it looks absolutely awesome. I've also got his decapitated head, which this was a CGI reference because the scene was CGI. So it didn't actually have any eyes in the head, which I might throw up a picture of it if I can be bothered. So I got Johnny Norman again to put some eyes in there without damaging the piece, because this is a silicone head. And yeah, so it looks, from the same scene, and I think it's pretty iconic. For people that haven't seen Underworld, it's obviously not, but yeah, this... Okay, that's better. Now we've got the light going on, so it's looking good. Yeah, it looks good. Pretty happy with that. Alright, sorry, I'm speeding through this quite quickly, but you get the gist. It's just an update, more so. I mean, I want to showcase it, but it's more for myself so I can see where my collections come from, how it's going to evolve and whatnot. So yeah, anyway. So this is Samira's costume from the latest Underworld movies, Underworld Blood Wars, played by Lara Pulver. She was probably my favourite character out of the new movie, and yeah, really awesome to get. This is the dress when she drinks Celine's blood and turns into a Corvinus hybrid that can walk in the daylight, so pretty cool scene from the new movie. And yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic on display on this mannequin. Next to that, we've got Lucian's costume from Underworld 3, Rise of the Lycans. This is his costume when he's like being a blacksmith just before he saves Sonya. We've also got his moon collar here, which opens and closes. I'm not going to do that, but it does. And this is that pilot headgear that I was talking about that goes with the Resident Evil Russian zombie costume. Beside that, we've got Costa's armour from Underworld Rise of the Lycans. This is the vampire guard who whips Lucian after he removes his moon collar and turns into a Lycan to save Sonya. So this is the guard's costume that does the whipping, so to speak, and then gets absolutely mauled by Lucian. Which, getting one of these costumes in good condition is not an easy feat, and only just recently I've managed to grab this, which is his whip, which is really beautiful. I paid quite a bit of money for it, but to have it with the costume, I haven't managed to figure out how to get it on display with it yet, but it's got 3, and these are all metal, so yeah, they'll do some damage. So that's really cool. I've also got special effects sword, Rise of Lycans, pretty cool, and then sword from the beginning scenes of Underworld Evolution, another cool piece. We'll move it across now. Alright, here's some more cool pieces that are pretty hard to come by these days. We've got, something I just got recently was these Lycan hands from Underworld Rise of the Lycans, I believe. Not 100% confirmed on that. Could have been Awakening and Blood Wars, but I'm pretty sure it's Rise of the Lycans based on the styling. This one doesn't have claws. It looks like it did have claws at one point in time, but they've been removed post-production for whatever reason. Next to that is another really cool piece, is a original Lycan head from Underworld Evolution. For some reason this one seems to look way better than all the other ones. It looks a lot more menacing, and I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm the one who owns it. So yeah, this one's really cool. There's not much more to say. Alright, so then we got this piece here. I've just had to switch over to a camera because I was using my phone previously, but that's out of storage, of course, as predicted in my videos. So here we've got Marcus's hero kilt from the end of Underworld Evolution. I hope the camera the lights are bringing the details and colouring in through, because yeah, it's a really beautiful costume. It's got blood splat all over the back of it, and down the side here you might not be able to make that out, but yeah, an absolutely beautiful costume from the main villain from the second movie. And I'll quickly just go through these pieces for you, even though you're probably not going to be able to see them. So on the top I've got a Harry Potter letter, that's one of the ones that flies around the room in the first movie. I've got some Underworld, Resident Evil umbrella handcuffs from the latest movie, which is pretty cool. I've got a Michael Corvin face prosthetic from the second movie, which is foam latex, really cool. I've got a closed blade shuriken, which was my first movie prop ever actually, from Underworld Awakening. And then down the bottom there, which I know you definitely can't see, Razor's boots, which is the dude with the deep voice, his boots from the third Underworld movie. I'm pretty sure that kind of wraps it up. I might give you a brief spin around, just so you can see what's up. Because, you know, I haven't done one for so long because I've always been waiting for something to come in. But I've always got stuff coming in, so it's just, otherwise the video will just never get done. So I thought, may as well do it now, because otherwise it's just never going to get done. So I'll give you a quick spin around to finish up, and that'll be it. Wow, the ratio on this is absolutely terrible. Okay, so Resident Evil Russian zombie costume, Axeman dude, another Russian zombie costume, Khan's costume, Celine's costume, Victor's head, Victor's costume. Those are actually Michael Corvin's teeth from, well, the actor that played Michael Corvin in the fourth movie, so Underworld Awakening. Then we've got Samira's costume, which looks dope. Definitely going to get a light to go over that one, which will look cool. More Russian zombie pilot headgear, Lucian's moon collar and blacksmith costume from Underworld 3, Costa's vampire armor from Underworld 3, Marcus kilt from Underworld 2, Lycan werewolf hands from Underworld 3, Lycan head from Underworld 2, all that stuff I just showed you. Then we've got the whip with the 3 metal blades, which are dope. See? It's metal. Then the special effects sword, Underworld 3, sword from Underworld 2. So I think that's pretty much the gist. Yeah, looks cool. So hopefully that gives you guys kind of an update of what the hell's been going on. I do have a lot in storage as well. As you can tell, my room is absolutely jam-packed. Unless I want to start doubling up in layers, which I don't particularly want to do. So yeah, a lot of stuff is now in store, or being stored away I should say. So pretty much anything new that comes in pretty much gets stored straight away. I've got half a dozen costumes that are already stored away that I just don't have the space to display, which is kind of a shame. But this is a temporary storage area until I get my own, you know, good setup. I'm about to finish university, so, you know, it's Liddy. Can't believe I just said Liddy. Alright, have fun. See you later, guys.